Yo, welcome to Hard Pass. I am your host, Jacques Slade. It's a show that hopes that Disney calls Julian base after posting this really cool video. And what do you know? Just like that, Disney's Bob Iger has tweeted at Julian. I knew Hard Pass had reach. I'll expect that check in the mail when you're even more famous, kid. Alright, it's time for some hot takes. Dunks, Nordstrom's, and CNN. Three things that I never would associate with each other came together on a tweet a few days ago when CNN posted that Nordstrom messed up big time and oversold their stock of University Red Dunks, which I'm assuming led to this tweet by friend of the show, Brendan Dunn. What's next? MSNBC reporting that Kohl's restocked their Monarchs? Or maybe Fox News tweeting that Bass Pro Shops has the bronze? Zion Williamson looks like he's ready for the NBA bubble at the end of the month. According to New Orleans Pelicans, Zion has shed 25 pounds of fat and gained 10 pounds of muscle, and apparently a face mask that makes him look like Optimus Prime. I know the easy joke is Bane, but Zion has a cooler voice than whatever Tom Hardy was going for in The Dark Knight Rises.
Of course.
Still don't know what the hell that was about, Christopher Nolan. We don't know if an NFL season is going to actually take place, but if it doesn't, I think Russell Wilson may have found the next best thing: robots.
Green 80. Green 80.
It's basically the Madden tutorial drills, but in real life. Nope. I haven't played Madden since like Andrew WK was on the soundtrack, so don't actually me in the comments if it's changed in the past 15 years or so. Also, 2K was a way better game anyway. $20 and my man T.O. was on the cover. Take that, Ray Lewis. Man, are we on a bitter start to this segment? Anyway, so my writing partner is having flashbacks right now to every girl he dated in college thanks to this video of a real hero.
There was this woman who refused to wear a mask and she was being super rude. And so another lady in the store comes up and starts spraying the signature Bath & Body Works scent, Warm Vanilla Sugar, all over her face. And it was crazy, but you know what? I'd do it again.
I mean, between the Juicy Couture tracksuit, the matching face mask, and CD booklet, I need to know what time machine she used so I can go back and tell everybody how stupid it gets in 2020. Speaking of a time machine, it seems like Vanilla Ice may have had one when he was promoting his July 4th 90s flashback concert in Texas that was subsequently canceled due to common sense. While promoting the concert, he actually said, "I can't wait to get back to this. The 90s were the best. We didn't have coronavirus or cell phones or computers. We had 5.0s, Blockbuster, Beavis and Butthead, Wayne's World, Chris Tucker, and Jackie Chan. Mortal Kombat is still better than Fortnite, the last of the great decades." Wow, there's at least 3 or 4 things wrong in that rant that I won't even bother correcting, Vanilla, but I'm curious, was this plan to go back to the actual 90s? Are time machines readily available now? Can I use one so I can go back in time over and over again until I actually win something on sneakers? Can I go back to 1989 and find out what's the deal with this pic of Eazy-E and Betty White with this epic Dr. Dre photobomb? Give me options here. Shout out to Coach George Karl, who celebrated the 12th anniversary of the Seattle Supersonics leaving for Oklahoma City by calling it, "No offense to the people of OKC, but Seattle not having an NBA team is a Travis Sham mockery that still hurts to this day. Think of all the KDs, why nots, hardened volumes, PGs and CP3s, and dope Sonic colors that were denied because of this move. Shame on you, Thunder ownership. Shame." FedEx, aka your best friend and really your worst enemy when you have a delivery that's on the way that keeps circling your neighborhood, has stepped up and asked the NFL's football team in Washington to change their name from the racist stereotype towards Native Americans to something that is like, not a racist stereotype. FedEx is not only a sponsor of the team and owns the naming rights to the stadium the team plays, but its founder, Fred Smith, owns a minority share of the team. As of this recording, the team has agreed to a review, but might I suggest the Bullets as a replacement? Yes, I know that used to belong to the NBA team in Washington and is problematic in its own way, but have you seen those unis, especially the throwback Michael Jordan wore on an NFL jersey? I think that would look pretty good. All right, it's story time. So this month, we celebrate the 6th year of an institution in the WWE, The New Day. In a genre filled with so much drama in and out of the ring, anything that lasts for 6 years in this era is an anomaly. Think about the factions that are synonymous with the company: DX, Evolution, The Shield, the Four Horsewomen. They were fun to watch as units, but you knew it was only a matter of time before Vince McMahon broke them apart, or in the case of the Four Horsewomen, never even gave them a chance to show what they could do as a group on the main roster. That's because Vince saw those members as single stars. Meanwhile, the New Day, well, they were a trio of black wrestlers who were either on the verge of being fired or fading into obscurity. This was a make or break situation for them, but through the sheer power of determination, will, and what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, positivity, Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Xavier Woods were able to turn their careers around and become one of the company's signature performers. That's because they stayed true to themselves instead of turning into the stereotypical angry black men faction that was prevalent in the previous generations. The New Day embraced their true selves, which just so happened to be super nerdy. They love video games, sneakers, and TV binge watching. Their promos were full of inside jokes and current memes that were shocking to hear from a WWE character because they were so fresh. But most importantly, all three men could go in the ring. Think about the epic matches with the Usos, or their battle on the mic with anybody who dared cross them. The New Day could host WrestleMania one year, or come out to a match in a giant box of cereal rocking Dragon Ball gear in another year. They weren't supposed to make it, but they grinded and fought through adversity that were at times scripted and at times, well, very much real. The culmination of that hustle was last year's WrestleMania with Kofi's emotional WWE Championship win, the first African-born wrestler to take home the prestigious title. And in a moment that you know could have gone badly in a different time, the New Day celebrated that emotional championship win. And nothing happened. Kofi got to celebrate with his sons, sell a new t-shirt, and enjoy his flowers. You could have easily imagined Big E and Woods dropping Kofi when they lifted him up in the air with a championship in hand. The story would have been so easy to write because, we've seen it so many times before. But not with the New Day. When one of them wins, they all win. And the thing is, it could still happen. A New Day breakup story could still be in the works, but please, not today. Not when there's a global pandemic going on and fans are not able to watch that possible heel turn live. Not when Woods is at home dealing with an injury, and not when they are taking a knee on live television and letting us know that Black Lives Matter. But honestly, I hope they don't flip that switch. Like John Cena, another popular star who was never a bad guy during his entire run at the top. The New Day should have the right to do what they want and stick together for as long as they want. Besides, who will do their sneaker unboxings on the Up Up Down Down channel if Kofi isn't part of the group? Me, obviously, that's who. Hey, I'll wear the unicorn horn. I'll swivel my hips. I'll play the trombone. Okay, I can't play the trombone, but regardless, New Day rocks. New Day rocks. New Day rocks. You know it. All right, it's time for the heat check, where we take a look at sneakers dropping this week, or we're going to drop this week. Really, we should keep a tally of the sneakers that actually make their promised release dates. Take last week's segment. There was an 85% success rate, but the week before that, it was probably less than 70%. That's not great, brands. Come on, get it together. All right, first up, we have the Air Jordan 5 Alternate Grape. Those are July 7th for $190. The Air Jordan 5 Grape is a dope shoe. It gets another look at this primary purple sneaker with a suede upper. Honestly, I don't know about the suede. Maybe if it was leather, I don't know. It kind of worked on the Court Purple one, so we'll see. Then we have the Air Jordan 11 Low Concord Sketch. Those are July 10th for $180. This off-delayed pair will finally make a drop this week and on the same week as the Alternate Grapes. Is there some sort of purple-themed holiday this week that I missed? Did we get these within days of each other? Then we have the New Balance 1700 Japan. These are on the 10th for 16,000 yen. If you live in Japan, and why wouldn't you, this retro of a 2010 release makes no bones about its limited nature because it literally says limited edition on the back. That's like a pair of Yeezys saying for the hype. We have the Jonah Hill Adidas Superstar. These are on the 11th. The style icon for the GQ crowd gets an Adidas Superstar collab that deconstructs the silhouette to give it a more, I would say, lived-in feel. I feel like there's either too much or too little going on with this shoe, and maybe that's kind of the point. Then we have my pick of the week. It's the Air Jordan 1 Smoke Gray. These are on the 11th for $170. Pro tip: if you switch up the laces and play it cool, you can pass these off as Union 1s to your non-sneakerhead friends. They will think you're so cool with like the super uber expensive sneakers, I promise you. Wait, sorry, I have to read a disclaimer here. Note, Jacques promising you anything is most likely a joke and will only lead you to embarrassment. The real pro tips are the ones you learn on the way. God, my co-writer is such a hater. All right, it's time for Hard Pass, where we take a look at something in the culture that just needs to go, like videos of people wearing their sneakers.
Yo, are you f***ing kidding me, bro? Bro, do you know what those are? The mother
Can someone tell me how to react to this clip so we can move on to the next thing already? I feel like I've seen some variant of this video or meme with different hyped sneakers over the past decade, and I just don't have the energy for it anymore. No, seriously, tell me how I'm supposed to feel and I will gladly react with the appropriate amount of shock just so we can move on. Should I be mad they're creasing their sneakers? Do we think the person filming was overreacting? Will the sneaker world mourn the loss in resale value? Are there enough people that actually care about this so we can write a whole Hard Pass bit about it? Wait, it's kind of what we just did and what we're doing right now. Look, I don't know. I'm having an existential crisis over here. Just tell me how to feel about this one and I'll go along with it. I'm like the Eeyore of clout chasing sneaker videos. I don't get it. Okay, this week's actual Hard Pass goes to people hating on the decision because it led us to this moment. On July 8th, 2010, LeBron James and his checkered shirt took their talents to South Beach in front of dozens of kids for the Greenwich Boys and Girls Club that may or may not have included a young Donovan Mitchell. It was a much hyped television special on ESPN that was their highest rated show that wasn't an NFL game from that year. Think about that for a second. As great of a player as LeBron James was in 2010, he had yet to win a championship and was coming off a very disappointing second round exit just a few months prior. I can't imagine somebody in football or baseball or in any other sport with LeBron's resume in 2010 having the clout to go on ESPN and ask for TV time to basically say where he or she was going next. Kobe with 5 championships? Sure. Tom Brady with 3 at the time? Why not? But LeBron? No way. But it happened, and I was tuned in like the rest of the world. By the time the show aired, I think everybody was convinced that he was either going to stay in Cleveland or go to Miami to join Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. We just had to get through the long preamble with Jim Gray where he just asked the most mundane questions. I bet even Kanye was bored after the fingernail question. Yes, Kanye was there for the decision. Remember when Ye took pictures with cool people? Like, I get it. They had to fill the time before they actually got to do the big reveal, but that whole production was just amateur hour. And it turns out it was being handled by people who were basically babies at that point. There's no way LeBron, who was 25 years old at the time, or Maverick Carter, who was 30, and the rest of his team would have broadcast the decision the way that they did had they had the reps prior to that show. And as we learned, when LeBron went back to Cleveland in 2014 and left for LA in 2018, he didn't handle it in the same way. P.S. Shout out to Lee Jenkins. But what's done is done. And now all we can do is reflect on how things have changed after the decision. And the answer really is everything. For LeBron, the decision put him in Miami and let him play with peers who were actually on his level, no offense to Mo Williams. It wasn't always easy, but the results were undeniable. 2 NBA championships in 4 years and a third in Cleveland when he teamed up with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. His sneaker game stepped up as well. Jason Petrie became the lead designer on the LeBron line starting with the 7, but his work on the 8 is the stuff of legend as evidenced by the resale prices for the South Beach and Miami Knights. The hot streak continued with the LeBron 9 and 10, which were on the feet of James during those championship years. It was during this particular run of sneakers where it felt like for the first time there was going to be a real successor to the Jordan brand at Nike. Turns out the Jumpman would have a few tricks up their sleeve to maintain their status at the top, but I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron Retros became even more popular as the years pass and the call for a LeBron brand gets louder. Meanwhile, from the ashes of the decision would come Uninterrupted and Spring Hill Entertainment, media production companies where LeBron and Maverick now delegate the responsibilities to people who actually know what they're doing. And with the news that they raised $100 million to expand their brand, their voices and the voices they want to amplify can only grow. And that voice might be the lasting legacy of the decision. Player empowerment to the average fan sounds like a dirty phrase because it means their teams are left behind when a star decides to move on. But to those who want to look at the bigger picture, player empowerment means LeBron, Wade and Bosch can wear hoodies to recognize Trayvon Martin. Kobe Bryant can wear an I Can't Breathe shirt to bring attention to Eric Garner. Kevin Durant can make the jump to Golden State and invest in tech companies to build generational wealth. Maya Moore can take a season off to fight for criminal justice reform. And Megan Rapinoe can become the biggest star in the soccer world by being unapologetically herself. Player empowerment also means DeMar DeRozan can talk about the mental health challenges he has had in his life. Kyrie can speak up against going into the bubble. Avery Bradley can sit out the bubble to take care of his family. And Dwight Howard, well, Dwight is going to do what's best for Dwight, and that's okay. The decision changed everything. And let's be honest, it wasn't that show that really got everybody mad. It got Cleveland mad. But then again, Cleveland's always mad. No, what really got everybody heated was the next day when this happened.
Not one championships.
Not two.
LeBron, tell us about that.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7.
Bet LeBron would like to have Lee Jenkins fix that one too. All right, that's gonna do it for this week's Hard Pass. I am Jacques Slade. I'll see you again next week with another episode, but not before I show you what Maya Moore was fighting for. The freedom of Jonathan Irons, a 40-year-old man who was wrongly jailed at the age of 22. His conviction was finally overturned and he is now a free man.
That's it, guys. It's done. I was just checking. Okay, y'all. Hey, how's it feel? Come here. Huh? How's it feel? Tell us, how's it feel? One sentence.
I'll see you next week. Peace.